Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. The Vikings are set to roll with JJ McCarthy.
Thank you.
Pursue Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings have rejected multiple trade calls for JJ McCarthy, telling other teams they're moving forward with him as their quarterback. The team plans to add a veteran, but they're not pursuing Aaron Rodgers at this time. McCarthy now enters the offseason as QB1.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. And listen, I don't like the way Aaron Rodgers is using the leverage, using his past, his accolades, his resume, and what he's done in the past, the whole team steadily at hostage. Now, some of the reports...
He ain't hold him hostage. Move on.
Oh, well,
they're allowing him, just like Green Bay allowed him to do all the things that he did. The Jets allowed, Green Bay allowed it, the Jets allowed it. Just move on.
That's exactly what they should do. Now, this is what I like about Minnesota. The reports came out about Minnesota obviously being in the hunt for trading for him, and what they did right away. It ain't even been 2 days. Oh, we gonna nix that real quick. We don't have time to play them games with you. So obviously you haven't learned your lesson with the last two places you've been to, because now here you go, tell the other teams you're not sure on what you want to do yet. Having them wait, using the leverage that you do have, the little bit of leverage you still have to play games. I'm glad the Minnesota Vikings came out and said what they said. They're going forward with JJ McCarthy because you drafted him for a reason. And you understand what he can do, especially with the supporting cast he has around him, because you saw what Sam Darnold was able to do. He wasn't able to do it with the Jets. He wasn't able to do it with the Panthers. But all of a sudden he comes to Minnesota and he has a career year. And it's time for JJ McCarthy to step up and do the same damn thing. And that's what he's probably going to do, because what he has around him is very, very special.
Yeah, well, you got to find out if the guy can play or not, Ocho. Well, I mean, you keep kicking the can down the road.
Bro, yeah. But listen, even if he couldn't play, we didn't think Sam Darnold would play either when he was with the Jets. We didn't think he could play when he was with the Panthers. But all of a sudden, magically, he turned into goddamn Houdini over there in Minnesota.
But we saw what he looked like the last 2 games of the season. Because, see, there's this thing called expectations.
Yeah.
You tell me, because think about what you just said. You didn't think Sam Darnold was going to do that. Nobody thought Sam Darnold was going to do that until expectations came along. And then expectations came along. Oh, we got to get the number 1 seed. And then what happened? Oh, we're in the playoffs. Then what happened? He turned back into Sam Darnold. You see, expectations is the number 1 killer of goals and dreams.
Yeah.
Because the moment someone expects something of, see, that's the only way you can hurt me, Ocho. Hey, if I don't expect anything, if I'm in a relationship and I'm just casually, I don't expect nothing. Hey, you do you, I'm going to do me. It's the moment we have expectations in each other.
See?
That it bothers me, that it hurts me if you do something that I don't agree with.
See what I mean?
So the Vikings started to have expectations. We started to have expectations for Sam Darnold. And you see what happened?
Now you was preaching a little too fast. Now I'm not sure the people in the chat. I'm not sure the people in the chat didn't catch that, but that was a moment. That was a moment a lot of people might have missed because we're talking about football. But that's something that we could apply to life that I think a lot of people missed. But I didn't miss it because as soon as I heard it, I keep that thing on me.
Yeah, you keep it on you.
Expectation. Now bring that to me again. And I got to write it down. Now when we get to the end of the year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these quotes that I wrote down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a Nightcap booklet called Unc's Quotes, so that people can apply it to life. Expectations. Just get to one more time.
Yeah, it's the number 1. It's the number 1 killer of dreams and goals. Because here's the thing, Ocho. Sam Darnold, nobody, because they're like, man, he was terrible with the Jets. Yeah. Well, he was terrible with Carolina. Well, we didn't get an opportunity to see him really at San Fran. So everybody was expecting, remember the last 2 stops that they saw him, that he wasn't that good.
Right.
Okay, so now he doesn't have any expectations. The more you win, the more expectations come along with that. So now, the last couple of games of the season, Ocho, we got an opportunity to get the number 1 seed.
Right.
Boom. Oh, we're in the playoffs now. Don't matter, blah, blah, blah. Boom.
Yeah. And you know that that playoff atmosphere is different now. That's a whole different ballgame than playing in the regular season. Regular season, he looked phenomenal. It's a different type of pressure. Again, the one word expectation that comes with being the quarterback.
Yes.
Especially in that type of situation. So I kind of understand. And the team you are playing or had to play, ugh.
This episode of Nightcap is brought to you by Cologuard, a non-invasive colon cancer screening test. Currently, colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the U.S., and it's on the rise in people under the age of 50. But when caught at early stages, colon cancer is survivable in 90% of the people, so screening and early detections are key to reducing overall colon cancer deaths. And a great one-of-a-kind way to feel more in control of your colon cancer screening is through the Cologuard test, a prescription-based test with none of the prep that's required for a colonoscopy. The Cologuard test is the only FDA-approved, non-invasive option that looks for both altered DNA and blood in your stool, which can indicate the presence of abnormal cells. This test offers convenience and ease of use, and the kit is delivered right to your door. Once you complete the kit, it is returned to the lab and results are available within 2 weeks. Plus, it's affordable. Most insured patients pay $0. And if you do need a colonoscopy, as a follow-up, most insurance plans cover that as well. So if you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can request a Cologuard prescription today at Cologuard.com/podcast. The Cologuard test is intended to screen adults 45 and older at average risk for colorectal cancer. Do not use the Cologuard test if you've had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease, or certain hereditary syndromes, or personal or family history of colorectal cancer. The Cologuard test is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Cologuard test performs in adults aged 45 to 49, it's estimated, and based on a large clinical study of patients 50 and older. False positives and false negatives can occur. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Yeah, but that's what happens when you have expectations, Ocho, like I said. And I like to equate things to relationships because most of the people, especially in our chat, has been a relationship.
Can relate to it, yeah.
It's the moment you have expectations. You see, when a couple's in marriage, there's an expectation. You're going to be faithful, I'm going to be faithful.
Oh.
I'm going to protect you, you're going to protect me.
Come on now.
I'm going to honor the vows that we stood before God and we swore to each other. Now, I have that expectation. But hey, if you say, hey, what you doing tonight? I ain't going to be able to see you tonight. And everybody, there's no expectations. I have no obligation. You have no obligation to me. I see you when I see you. Holler when I holler.
And you know what I don't like about the analogy and the explanation that you give me right now is the marriage one normally doesn't work. But the one with no expectations, hell, you be friends, you be sneaky links or whatever you want to call it for years and years and years and years all the way down the line because there are no expectations, so there's no failure or reason for anything to ever end.
But here's the sneaky part, Ocho, where they get you. You see, the number one cause that will cause a relationship to end is uncommunicated expectations. You see, Ocho, she expected you to get her flowers and you didn't get them. Why didn't you tell me you wanted flowers? She expected you, Ocho, to plan this vacation.
Right.
You didn't know she wanted to go on a vacation. Uncommunicated expectations. Ocho thought that, you know what? Hey, she gonna do this thing for Father's Day. We're gonna do it up, blah, blah, blah. She didn't do it. You see, uncommunicated expectations, but again, uncommunicated, but what's the end part? Expectations.
I like that. I haven't even heard that word before. Not used in this context and actually used together. Uncommunicated expectations.
Yes.
I like that.
She has an expectation, but she didn't communicate them with you.
Right.
You have an expectation, but you didn't communicate them with her. So those uncommunicated expectations, and what happens, a lot of times people have what we call implosive personalities. They hold things. There's only so much you can hold before it explodes. The term, he went postal.
Yeah.
Boom. And so now, instead of just saying, well, Chad, I thought that we were going to do this.
Right.
No, 1 month go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by, 4 months go by, and it's building.
Wait,
you don't know. It's not been communicated, so you don't know. It's building. It's building. It's building. Boom. Then it blows.
Yeah.
You've been with me all this time. You should have known. You see? How many times you heard that, Ocho?
All the
you
time.
Know what I like.
Yeah, all the time. All the time, because you've been with him a certain amount. You've been with someone for a certain amount of time. And you know, women all the time. Oh, I know you real well. I know you real well. I knew what you're going to say. You could say something else.
Yes.
She could finish the sentence for you. But all of a sudden, when it comes to certain stuff, oh, you didn't want to.
I didn't know you wanted that. I didn't know you wanted.
Like, oh, you can't read my mind. I threw you hints. I gave you a sign a few weeks ago. A sign?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the commercial. I mentioned it when it came on TV.
Yeah. I missed the sign that God gave me too.
Say what you want.
Mm-hmm. You should have told us. Should say I missed the sign that God gave me. I should have left your ass alone about 6 months ago. I missed that sign. But that's the thing. I just think, sometimes we take for granted, and you've been in a relationship, just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm one of these guys, Ocho. Just tell me.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, tell me. I don't have time. I got too much ish on my plate to try to figure out what you want. You can just open your mouth and say, if you want to go here, say that. If you want to eat that, say that. If you want this, say that. But the guy, me, you know what to talk about. You know what to talk about on them shows.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
What they got to do with this?
What that got to do with you telling me what you would like to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the thing is, for the Vikings, they have an expectation now. They see their offense.
Yeah. They
realize that, hey, Jetta's going to be Jetta. Hawkinson's been a Pro Bowl player. Addison, hey, the more opportunities we give him, the better he can be.
Yeah.
Offensive line, maybe they add a piece to the offensive line. But other than that,
yeah,
I think you owe it. I mean, you drafted the kid when you drafted him, and now you keep kicking the can down the road. And he's like, hold on, what I got to do? You took me, you told me I was the guy, and now I get hurt. Okay, I get that. I understand that. I got hurt. There's nothing I can do about that, Ocho. But then I come back, and y'all got another guy. You tell me I got to wait another year?
Yeah. That would bother anybody, especially a quarterback that got drafted, where he got drafted, expected to start, but due to injury, he had a small setback. And now you've done all the work you need to do during the season last year to get yourself back, not only in playing shape physically and mentally, but now you talk about bringing somebody else in, another veteran presence, and telling me I got to take a back seat again?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here? So I'm happy for him. I'm glad that the organization decided to hurry up and nix the rumors that were out there about Aaron Rodgers coming in, and let JJ McCarthy give him that sense of security mentally, so he can go forward and know he's quarterback one and doesn't have to look over his shoulder